Hola amigos, un placer estar de nuevo con todos ustedes. Vamos a hablar sobre el programa de hibridación alienígena, un video que trae la señora Barbara Lamb. Barbara Lamb es una autoridad en los círculos de las cosechas, en los símbolos que dejan en los sembradíos estos alienígenas, estas naves extrañas espaciales fuera de este mundo. Y es una autoridad, tiene bastantes libros, tiene bastantes personas que se le acercan a contarle sus experiencias. Y ella tiene insiders dentro de sus fuentes muy importantes. Esta mujer está en otro nivel, créanme que está en otro nivel. Tiene años y años y años de experiencia de lidiar con el tema alienígena. Y es una completa autoridad en el tema ufológico. Como siempre, este tema de la hibridación viene sucediendo desde hace muchísimo tiempo. Yo conozco al respecto de este tema, incluso los libros de Corrado Malanga son una brújula muy potente para dar luz a este programa de hibridación que tiene varios componentes, ¿no? El positivo y el negativo. Pero bueno, de esto nos va a hablar Barbara Lamb en este impresionante y magnífico video. Amigos, aquí está nuestro canal de Patreon. Desde $1 al mes pueden unirse, vean los contenidos que tenemos muy buenos. Yo realmente me emociona mucho cuando traduzco videos de Patreon porque consigo lo mejor que hay en la red, la verdad. Y bueno, estamos aquí en Patreon para que se unan a la resistencia. Es un blog completamente ciudadano, nada que ver con el sistema o con los vaivenes de los algoritmos. Aquí es simple y sencillamente la ciudadanía y la comunidad de la conspiración pura. Amigos, sin más los dejo entonces con el... y antes de comenzar el video quiero decirles que hace poco tuvimos un directo con un suscriptor en nuestro portal de Facebook, creo que fue el directo. Y nos decía, pues él tenía muchas experiencias al respecto, con encuentro con reptiliano, etcétera. Y nos hablaba de los crop circles, aunque sé que este video no tiene que ver con los crop circles. Los círculos de las cosechas, nos decía este excelente suscriptor, que eran símbolos para poder acceder a las dimensiones de estos seres, de estos alienígenas. Que uno, si tenía una vibración alta o si era susceptible a las fuerzas de astralizar y tenía la disposición de hacer estos símbolos que vienen en los crop cycles, pueden acceder a esas dimensiones haciendo dibujos en el astral con su poder y su mente y su energía. Obviamente estamos hablando de personas muy avanzadas que pues tienen esa sensibilidad en el mundo espiritual, incluso brujos. Nuestro colega, nuestro suscriptor pues era un brujo pactado y bueno, nos enseñó su tatuaje. Le mando saludos, ¿no?, a mi suscriptor, que se agradece los aportes porque enriquecen al canal y a la información. Nos enseñó su pentagrama en la nuca y él hablaba de que estos crop cycles eran precisamente aperturas, llaves para abrir portales y uno las canalizaba en el astral. Sin más, los dejo con el video de Barbara Lamb y recuerden, estamos en Patreon para que se unan y nos ayuden a seguir con esta cruzada en la red. Muchísimas gracias y que pasen un excelente día.
I've learned about the hybridization program that's been going on with a number of these extraterrestrial species and the humans whom they take for these experiences. And those hybrids, in my awareness for many years, were not human enough to live here on Earth. So they were living on the ships or on other planets with those beings.
And when you say not human enough, because they didn't look like us?
They didn't look like us enough. They sort of did, but if they were to be here, they'd be considered very peculiar. And then I began to realize by meeting certain people at conferences that there were some hybrids who were actually living here on Earth. The first one was a wonderful woman, a hybrid, named Cynthia Crawford. No, she did not know until she was age 35.
Wow.
And how she found out was that her father told her about this. Her father was involved in some kind of unknown, some sort of secret program. She had not been intending to be pregnant. They were not really expecting that at that particular time. But she was pregnant, and she carried that baby full term and delivered, just like a regular mother here on Earth does. And that baby turned out to be the hybrid Cynthia. Now, Cynthia...
What a story, Barb.
Oh, yeah.
My gosh.
Now, Cynthia didn't know that until she was age 35, and her father finally thought, well, it's time that she knows how she was created.
Now, how did she accept this story?
She had always felt very, very different than her family and from anybody she ever knew anywhere. She certainly felt like a different kind of child.
And when you hear the term, Barbara, hybrid,
yes,
you obviously think part human, part extraterrestrial.
Yes.
Of the extraterrestrial type, are we talking about one sect, one race, or a number of different kinds of races out there?
We're talking about a number of different kinds of races. With these 8 hybrids, whom I've come to know extremely well, they come from 25 different extraterrestrial races. Now, there may very well be other hybrids who are a mixture of still more different kinds of races. I don't know about that, but the 8 whom we studied have had 25 different races contributing their genetics to them.
And that would include alien greys, the Nordiques that look like humans, reptilians.
Right,
It goes on and on.
Pleiadians,
Okay.
blue Arcturians.
You don't think, though, that it's a program to replace us?
No, I do not think it's a program to replace us. I think it's completely benevolent. Now, in saying this, I must admit that I'm certainly aware of the opinion of Dr. David Jacobs, whom I know personally. I think he's a
brilliant.
great guy. I really enjoy him very much. It just happens
He
that
takes the other
he
position.
has had people come to him who've had very different experiences in regard to ET human hybrids. And that whole view is a very, very pessimistic point of view. And it just happens that people have come to me about hybridization who have a very positive view. So all I can say is that maybe there's some of both. Maybe there are some hybrids who do intend eventually to take over the world.
Hybridization, to me, means taking good parts of both and mixing them into one. What's
Yes.
the good part of the ETs that they're trying to give us?
Oh, there are many, many good parts. For instance, they're very intelligent. They're very broad in their thinking, very open-minded. They're very psychic. They have healing skills. They read auras easily. They feel the frequencies. The hybrids have the vibrations, the frequencies of the extraterrestrials.
And what do they want from us, Barb? What do we contribute here?
Well, they recognize us as a very intelligent species and a very important species. For one thing, humanity, they say, has been comprised with extraterrestrial genetics from way back, probably in the beginning of what we consider humanity.
Does the delivering doctor know that they're hybrids?
No, the delivery doctor does not know that they're hybrids. Nobody knows. Even the parents don't know at that point that they're hybrids. But the parents do notice as the babies are developing into toddlers and young children,
something.
They notice that they're substantially different.
Do we know how long they live?
Well, so far, the oldest one, whom I know, is age 65. They seem to live normal human lifetimes.
Could they go to 200, 300?
I don't know if they could live beyond 100 or so. Time will tell. We don't know that yet.
Is this hybridization program, the one that you've been studying, relatively new, or has it been going on since the beginning of time?
Well, really, all I know is that these people, the oldest of whom whom is 65 at this point, 66 maybe by now. I don't know if this has been going on for centuries and there were other hybrids. I suspect, but I don't know, that it might be this generation type of happening. An important point here is that all of the hybrids whom I know do have visits from and encounters
ongoing
with the extraterrestrial types that they have the genetics of. So many people consider that when extraterrestrials comes, they have abductions. It's a very common word for it. Abductions, being taken away for an hour or so and returned.
Do they show emotion? Do they cry?
Oh yes, hybrids do have emotion because they're primarily human. Yes, they do. They're very much like the rest of us.
What kind of jobs do they take in society?
Well, these hybrids whom I know do not have regular day jobs like so many of us do, but they do set themselves up to teach classes, give lectures, teach workshops, do individual counseling of people. Generally...
So they're trying to educate us.
Yeah, trying to educate us, trying to, as they say, upgrade the consciousness, the viewpoint of humanity.
If an individual suspects that something is different about themselves, and they could be hybrids, but that's not the first thing somebody would think about, obviously. What do you recommend they do? Where do they go?
Well,
how many Barbara Lambs are out there?
Unfortunately, I think there are not enough people
only one, I
who are
think.
doing the regression therapy. Most of the states have at least one person, and some of the other countries have one rare person who does this type of work. But if somebody would like to find somebody who does this regression therapy work for this particular purpose, they could go to the website of the group called FREE, which is actually officially called the Edgar Mitchell Foundation for Research into Extraterrestrial Encounters, a long name. So the website is simply experiencer.org.